Just to repeat, today we have 3 study programs in direction of study computer science engineering and cognitive science in Germany. Here are the guests, 2 universities, 3 study programs. So we are looking forward to your interest and questions. Organizer of this session, I hope you know, is about My German University, Germany's largest study program database, and probably you already have browsed the programs in our study finder or on the course pages, and you see that you have all the information in one place, which is very convenient. If you are again searching for programs, you can narrow down the search always in a nice and user-friendly manner. Feel free to check out our articles. We have articles about different topics in different languages. They are specifically useful for internationals because we are covering topics like uni-assist or scholarship, visa, accommodation, and so on. And we are also adding different topics time to time. And of course, our webinars. You are now joining subject webinar, the aim of which is to connect you with your future program. You have this chance to directly ask your questions, get to know the study program, its content, location of the university. And then we also have general webinars when we talk about broader topics like uni-assist scholarship. By the way, the next scholarship webinar is next week. In case you want to know more about that, feel free to join me then. And then we also have webinars about visa, opportunity card, blocked account, and there my colleagues Oliva and Camila are happy to assist you. This is our team, very nice. We are based in Hamburg, Germany. We are counseling in different languages and also happy to share our experience of studying and living in Germany with you. Now, I use the study finder for you, and you see that you can have multiple subjects selected, and you have 345-degree programs in direction of computer science, engineering, and cognitive science. Again, a breakdown in terms of bachelor and master is visible, but you have much more filters. And if you scroll down, you have all filters, so you can adjust programs according to your desire, and then even sort, for example, by application deadline and so on. We also have subject pages. I'm a fan of them because I really like the information they provide in terms of different rankings and suggestions and description, general information about application, admission, language requirements, and so on. If you want, you can also have a look and maybe also discover different programs there as well. We advise you checking each program individually because all programs are different, unique, and to make an informed decision, it's important to understand the program, its content. Is there a mutual match between your skills and the future program here in Germany? Really briefly about the universities. We frequently have a question: if I graduate from University of Applied Science, is my diploma not recognized, and so on? So no, your diploma is recognized from University of Applied Sciences. What I want to mention is that usually programs offered by universities are more research and theory oriented. Universities of Applied Sciences have more application and practice oriented programs. But again, going back to my previous slide, please check separately for each program what they offer, what part of curriculum, how is it composed, and so on. And especially for those who are applying for master's programs, please always check qualification requirements. We frequently have questions: can I apply with this degree and this degree? So usually the programs have kind of strict regulations, what they are expecting, what are the threshold in terms of GPA, in terms of other requirements, for example, language. And you have this section, a special section about qualification requirements, which is kind of pre-check if you qualify for a program or not. And then there's another section which lists already application documents, and then you can already start collecting your documents for a study course. Good. Then I would like to give the mic to Dr. Leonard Klausing, presenting 2 study programs from Paderborn University.
Yes, with this then, good afternoon and welcome to some informational slides on our programs at Paderborn University regarding the programs in computer science and computer engineering. As Nina said, my name is Dr. Leonard Klausing. I'm one of 4 members of the Computer Science Study Service, so we do advisory service and also organizational stuff on the study programs. And yes, starting with a short introduction to Paderborn itself, as you've already seen. So where is Paderborn? Here it is. So we are quite in, a little bit to the left of Germany, and I've drawn just for just to get a first impression. I've drawn a radius of roughly 500 kilometers around Paderborn. As you see, it includes many German cities like Berlin, Cologne, Dresden, Hamburg, Leipzig, Munich, but also some European capitals that are within this radius. So in Europe, it's quite close together, and therefore, yeah, we are quite in the center of a lot of those cities here. So first impression of Paderborn, you see here is the city center, and focusing a little bit on the campus. So on the lower half, you see the historic city center of Paderborn, and in the top section, like right in the top middle, you see some high-rising buildings, which is the main campus at Paderborn University. Some background on Paderborn: we have a population of roughly 156,000 at the moment, and the first time Paderborn was mentioned as a city was in the year 777, and the name comes from the river Pader, and Paderborn is like built around the springs of this river, and therefore in German it means something like the springs of the river of the Pader. And in 1614 the first university actually was founded in Paderborn, and the current university, Paderborn University, was then finally founded in 1972. So we are quite a young university, and yes, the region of Paderborn itself has a lot of information technology companies, have had these in the last decades and also has now, and a lot of industry. And there's also quite a lot of nature around the city of Paderborn. Here, for example, you see the 𝘱𝘢𝘕𝘂𝘓𝑡𝑒𝑟𝑒, which is a sandstone formation in a lake. It's quite close to the city, for example, which is also quite nice. We have a good mix of city and also nature in Paderborn. Yes, talking a little bit more about Paderborn. So some cultural events, for example, Paderborn has a theater. Even the university has its own small theater club. We have a lot of concerts, pubs, we have live music. We also have sports like football, for example, soccer, basketball. We also have some sport opportunities at the university. There's a rich catalog we can pick from as a student. For example, we have cricket, we have American football, we have Zumba, we have a lot of different opportunities here. And one of the more famous events in Paderborn is the 𝘈𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘵, so-called City Festival, which is a 9-day event. There you have a fun fair, and it's live events and everything right in the city. So only a few minutes walk from university campus. Focusing a little bit more on the campus, you have seen it before in the first aerial view. Here's another photo of the main campus. So you see it consists of different buildings which are roughly assigned to individual faculties or institutes. So in the top left, the high-rising, like newer built white building is the one for the computer science faculty. And yes, this is where most of your program might take part, and this is this is the main campus at Paderborn University. As I said, it was founded in 1972. We currently have roughly 16,000 students. We have a main campus. We also have a secondary campus, which I will show in a minute. And in general, we have a quite good infrastructure. So we have a campus, and within there are a lot of open working areas. So even indoors and also outdoors, you can just gather in groups for self organized learning and studying. We have Wi-Fi on campus. We have a quite good public transportation in Paderborn, and we are very close to the city center. As I said, it's a few minutes walk, and then you're right in the city center of Paderborn. Yes, so as I said, this is our main campus, the bigger one, and then we also have our secondary campus called Fürstenallee. This is based on a vintage property of the company called Nixdorf, which was one of the founders of modern computing technology. So on the very right side, you see this building with the gold-tinted windows. This is the Heinz Nixdorf Institute at Paderborn University, which is a computer science institute. And you will also have a lot of lectures there if you join for one of our programs. And just as a fun fact, right next on the left, this high-rising building, also with the gold-tinted windows, is the world's largest computer museum, at least by size. And this is also located in Paderborn, right next to the computer science building. And on the left, we are currently constructing, or have now finished constructing, additional areas where we also do industry cooperations, like tightly integrated research and also offering teaching. All right, so these are some background informations regarding Paderborn University. Let's now step a little bit into informations on the programs themselves. So first of all, we start with the program of computer science. Here you see just here you see just an overview of the program. So it is a 4-semester program. It has 120 credits, the European Credit Transfer Standard. So it's the regular ECTS scheme of 30 credits a semester for 4 semesters, so 120 credits overall. As you see, you have a lot of elective modules called Module 1 to Module 9. So each of them can be freely chosen from a catalog. So these 54 credits make a lot of flexible, or give a lot of flexible opportunities to, basically select the areas that you are most interested in. Then we have additional modules that are containing a project, the project group, which is a 2-semester or 1-year team project where you can work on a research question and do some teamwork there. We have another module for some key skills, so they include a seminar, something like that. We have an area for general studies where you can pick from any lecture offered at Paderborn University, basically. And then the 4th semester, so 1 full semester, is dedicated to the scientific thesis project. So your master thesis will take up 1 semester. This is the rough structure. Yes, the elective courses, as I've said, you can elect 9 modules. They are organized in 5 focus area, where each module is assigned to 1 or more focus areas. So we have the focus areas of classical and quantum algorithm design. We have computer and communication systems, data science and intelligent systems, security, and software engineering. These are the focus areas. And as I said, there are additional modules which you can see here listed on the right as well. All of these modules are offered in English, so the program is completely offered in English, and that's also why we only require English proficiency for our computer science program. Yes, the opportunity to select up to select the 9 modules offer a lot of flexibility for your study programs, so there are not too many rules on how you can pick those modules. You can basically choose all of them as you wish. So there's just one rule. They have to be from at least 2 different focus areas. So you can highly focus on one area if you wish, and select up to 8 modules from this area, and then one has to be from another one. But you can also, if you wish to, spread your course selection over all focus areas if you want to have a more generalized master structure and not focus too much in one field. So you basically can decide for yourself if you want to have a highly specialized or broad generalized master structure. Yes, then you can also study if these 9 modules are not sufficient to you. You can also study additional modules, which are not then part of the final CGPA, but were still listed on your transcripts. And so you can also participate in additional modules. This is also possible. Yes, as I said, we have these project groups and the seminars and master thesis. The master thesis is for 1 full semester. The project group is a team of usually 8 to 16 students, and you work together as a team on one question for a full year. So you can learn some teamwork and scientific working and get a lot of experience during these project groups. And then we also have a seminar where you learn to research and present informations and work on those. Coming to the prerequisites of the master program. So we have some prerequisites in place because we want to ensure that when you join our program, you are basically equipped with all the skills and previous knowledge that is needed to follow the courses, so you can have a successful study at Paderborn University. You can find the information on the My German University webpage, also on our program web pages. They are reflected there as well. And these will be checked before we issue your admission. So the prerequisites for the computer science master program: you need a good bachelor degree. So your bachelor grade must be 3.0 or less in the German system, where smaller numbers are better grades. So this is important to remember. This is the basic first requirement. Then you need a bachelor degree in computer science or a comparable bachelor program, which means your bachelor should include at least 20 credits in the field of software engineering, at least 20 credits in theoretical computer science, at least 15 credits in technical informatics, and at least 15 credits in basic mathematics for the field of computer science. So these are relevant prerequisites, and these will be checked after you apply, and all of these are mandatory requirements. All right, so this was the first program of computer science. Now we have a second master program that we would like to present today. So the computer engineering master program. The focus of this program is a little bit shifted towards the engineering side. So the computer engineering master program is a joint program offered by the departments for computer science and the electrical engineering department. So therefore it is a joint program that is in between or closing the gap between the computer science and the electrical engineering. This is basically the structure of this program is completely based on the recommendations by the IEEE and the ICM groups for such computer engineering programs. So we also followed these guidelines when creating this study program. As you see, it is a little bit differently structured. The fourth, starting from the very last semester, the fourth semester is still dedicated entirely to the master thesis. So it is a 30 credit point or 1 semester thesis project. And the semester before that also contain the project group, a seminar. So these things are quite similar, but there is a little difference. You have 4 compulsory modules, of which 2 are from the computer science field, advanced computer architecture and advanced network systems. And you have 2 compulsory modules from the electrical engineering department, so statistical signal processing and circuit system design. These are mandatory because we want you to have this knowledge, and we think it's a foundational knowledge for the field of computer engineering. Therefore, these are compulsory modules in this program. And then you have additional 7 elective modules, out of which 4 must be from your focus area and 3 can be from additional areas. So the focus areas in computer engineering are a little bit different from computer science. We have the focus areas of embedded systems, nano microelectronics, computer systems, communication and networks, signal processing, and control and automation. So these focus areas are for computer engineering. Now here on the slide, I've written the program is almost completely English taught, which means all compulsory modules and a sufficient number of elective modules is completely taught in English. That's why we only require English language proficiency. German proficiency is also not required for this program. But since it is a joint program that combines a lot of lectures in the elective area from both computer science and electrical engineering departments, we also included some German taught programs. So this is a very small number, but if you're interested in this, you can also try joining German taught programs, or if you have either have German proficiency or want to learn while you're studying here, this is also possible, but it is not required. So the entire program can be studied in English. Yes, the compulsory modules I've already mentioned, and the additional modules are basically similar to the computer science program. Coming to the prerequisites in computer engineering. So similar to computer science, we require a bachelor degree in computer engineering or a comparable bachelor program. This is defined as a bachelor program that has at least 30 credits in electrical engineering, at least 30 credits in computer science. We also want some hardware-specific courses included. So, for example, digital logic, design, computer architecture. Some of those should be included in your program. That would be ideal. And at least 15 credits in mathematics. And we also require a bachelor's thesis so that your program should have included a thesis. Here is written that it should have at least 12 credits. We know that sometimes the extent of a thesis is not reflected by the number of credits awarded for a thesis. Therefore, we recommend, if you apply via UniAssist, just include your bachelor thesis so we can also see the extent if if the number of credits awarded for the thesis might be on the low side. So we can check this extent as well. All right, so now information that is relevant for both computer science and computer engineering. We have a threshold for your CGPA. So for computer science, this is if your CGPA is equal to or higher than 1.8 German grade. For computer engineering, it is 1.5. So if you have a CGPA that is higher than this in German, in the German grading system, higher means worse than or below this level. You also need to provide a sufficiently scored test. This can either be a GRE test with the thresholds that are shown here, so 157 points in quantitative reasoning, and for computer science, at least 4.0 points in analytical writing. For computer engineering, at least 3.0 points in analytical writing. Or for computer science, another option is also taking the digital master's test, so the DMAT test as shown here. So these are required, except if your CGPA is within the ranges shown here, then you don't need to provide any such test. Yes, as I already said, we only require English language proficiency. So there are basically two ways to prove this. Usually you need to provide a certificate for your English language proficiency. So some examples are on the right. For example, TOEFL 550 in the paper-based test or 80 in the internet-based test. CAE B would be acceptable, or IELTS with a minimum band of 6.5 overall score. Duolingo and Pearson's Academic are also accepted with these thresholds. And there's an additional way: if your bachelor was done in a country where English is an official language, in Germany we call it Amtssprache, and your medium of instruction was English in your bachelor, then a medium of instruction certificate is sufficient. But only if English is an official language in your country of study. This is relevant, otherwise a test is needed. Yes, the application will be done via 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝑗𝑒. So we have switched all programs to the online only process of 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝑗𝑒. So you don't have to send any paper copies to Paderborn or to 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝑗𝑒. So you can just upload all your documents to 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝑗𝑒. You can log in and have a look for master universities, master programs in North Rhine-Westphalia, find Paderborn University, and there you can then select the computer science or computer engineering master. Important, not choose the informatic master, which is also listed there, which is the literal translation of computer science, but this was an older German taught program which should be no longer listed there. So computer science, computer engineering at Paderborn University that you can just select in 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝑗𝑒. The application deadlines are reflected here as well. So the upcoming deadline would be the end of November for the next summer semester of 2026, which would start then April 1st, 2026. For this semester, applications can be uploaded to 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘳𝑗𝑒 until 30th of November. Yes. When you're studying here, we offer a lot of support options. So we have an international office which can take care and is specialized in informing about all processes that are special to international students at our university. We offer a specific set of welcome days at the beginning of each semester to get into to get an introduction to the university, to the programs, and all details also around university. We offer a mentoring system. And we have also advisory services, both from the electrical engineering side as well as from the computer science side. So for each study program, there are at least one advisory service where you can also always get support if you need. Yes, all right. This concludes my information on these programs. And yes, I hope to see you soon in Paderborn.
And let's now move to Osnabrück University. Somebody already asking about bachelor's program, so here we go. Bachelor Cognitive Science program will be presented by Professor Dr. Sebastian Maslik. He also has a team member, Laura Krieger, who will be also assisting him.
Hi. Okay, so welcome to Cognitive Science at Osnabrück University. Cognitive science is one of the most exciting and rapidly evolving fields of our time. It's where psychology and neuroscience, computer science, linguistics, philosophy, and artificial intelligence all come together to answer one of humanity's biggest questions. What is the mind and how does it work? I am Laura Krieger. I am part of the program coordination of the Institute of Cognitive Science.
And I'm Sebastian Muslik. I'm a professor of computational neuroscience at the Institute. In the next few minutes, we will give you a glimpse of what cognitive science is about, what kind of questions we ask, and what makes it so interdisciplinary, and why it matters now more than ever. Now, cognitive science starts with curiosity, with questions like, how does the human brain turn simple electrical signals into consciousness, emotion, and thought? How can we build machines that think, learn, or even create like humans? And to what extent do animals share our ability to reason, communicate, or plan ahead? And how do we ourselves make decisions, learn languages, or solve problems? If you're curious about any of these questions, then cognitive science might be just the perfect field for you. No single discipline, though, can explain the mind. And so psychologists study how we behave and think. Neuroscientists study the brain, the biological machinery behind thought. Computer scientists and AI researchers try to build models of intelligence. Linguistics explore how language shapes our mind. Philosophers ask what it all means, what consciousness, knowledge, and rationality really are. And animal cognition explores how cultural evolution and evolution shape the way we think. So cognitive science brings all of these perspectives together to understand the nature of mind and intelligence. And it's kind of a bridge between the natural sciences, the social sciences, and computer science a place where we can study the mind both as a biological system and as an information processing system. And we're living in an age where understanding intelligence isn't just a scientific challenge. It's reshaping the future of our society. ChatGPT, virtual reality, AI tutors, and even brain-computer interfaces, all of these technologies are grounded in ideas from cognitive science. So studying cognitive science means exploring the frontier of thinking in humans and animals and machines. And it also means studying how perception, learning, language, and reasoning work so that we can build intelligent systems, enhance human capabilities, and also use these technologies wisely. Now, the Institute of Cognitive Science at Osnabrück University is Germany's first and oldest institute dedicated entirely to cognitive science. Founded more than 25 years ago, it has been a pioneer in uniting psychology, neuroscience, computer science, linguistics, and philosophy under one roof, long before the term AI actually became mainstream. So today, it continues to shape the field, driving innovation in both understanding human cognition and building intelligent systems. Now, the Cognitive Science Bachelor's program admits approximately 150 students each year. And in total, we have about 1,000 active students from both the Bachelor and the Master program. And studying cognitive science at Osnabrück also means that you get to interact directly with the professors and faculty at the Institute who all work on various topics in cognitive science. That ranges from neuroinformatics, neuroscience, and AI to psychology, linguistics, and philosophy.
As Sebastian mentioned, cognitive science here at Osnabrück University is truly interdisciplinary, and I want to highlight more key features of our bachelor program. The significant freedom that it offers to students, the opportunity to get involved in research early on, and the international focus. To illustrate this, let's take a look at what the bachelor program actually involves. In your first year, as part of your mandatory area, you will build a strong foundation in mathematics, computer science, philosophy, and neuroscience. This is an intense period, and you will not only acquire essential knowledge across a range of disciplines, but also develop perseverance, resilience, and collaborative skills. These foundational courses equip you with the tools to engage with more advanced material and research in our 3 focus areas. In artificial intelligence and machine learning, you will explore how intelligent behavior can be modeled, simulated, and understood computationally. The goal is not only to advance technology, but also to gain deeper insight into human cognition. Here you may engage with research areas such as deep neural networks, reinforcement learning, neuromorphic hardware, or large language models. In psychology, communication, neuroscience, and behavior, this area examines how humans and other systems perceive, process, and communicate information, from brain mechanisms to complex social interactions. You will learn to apply methods from cognitive neuroscience, such as EEG or cognitive modeling, to investigate the working of the brain. In mind, ethics, and society, critical thinking is central, as you explore philosophical questions about the mind and dive into the ethical dimensions of artificial intelligence. And then there's a small part where you can explore your interests without any constraints, the 3 electives. Each semester you can select from a broad range of courses, allowing you to tailor your curriculum to your interests as well as your academic and professional goals. This flexibility encourages you to make thoughtful decisions, plan strategically, and remain adaptable. This fosters initiative and should encourage you to shape your own academic journey. And often this journey is not just metaphorical. Cognitive science at Osnabrück is truly international, both in its outlook and in its community. Around 30% of our bachelor master students come from outside Germany, creating a vibrant multicultural environment where people bring in different languages and perspectives. The bachelor program comprises a semester abroad, where students can either stay at one of our 50 partner universities in Europe or even more worldwide. Or they gain practical experience during an internship, for example, by applying to the highly regarded RISE internship or finding their own dream spot. There are funding opportunities to support your goals. And the international experience at Osnabrück isn't just about studying abroad. It's also about being part of global research. Our students regularly participate in international hackathons, workshops, and summer schools where they work side by side with researchers from top universities. This year, for example, students joined a workshop on cognitive modeling at Brown University and another one on automated scientific discovery of mind and brain at Princeton. Experiences like this give our students the chance to collaborate on cutting-edge projects, explore new research cultures, showcase their hard work, and build lasting international connections. So, what do you need to succeed in this program? To succeed, you'll need several key qualities. First, self-direction. With so many interesting courses and possibilities, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and to lose focus. Second, perseverance. It's essential. While few excel in all different areas of cognitive science, the most significant advancements often come from applying tools and techniques from diverse and unexpected disciplines to your chosen field. So you can't give up when faced with challenges. Third, curiosity will be a great asset. As a young and rapidly evolving field, cognitive science rewards those who broaden their horizon and seek new challenges. And you will need math. This ranges from the obvious statistics used in data science to less apparent applications like logic and philosophy. This environment, while challenging, is also incredibly rewarding. It's a nurturing ground for outstanding student initiatives and student-led projects. For example, the Sleep and Dream Initiative conducts independent research in its own dedicated sleep lab. Furthermore, the Student Journal and the Student-led podcast have been successfully engaging in science communication and journalism for several years, showcasing the initiative and drive of our students. Several startups and companies have grown and developed from the cognitive science community in Osnabrück, and the exchange between the institute and the businesses is highly valued on both sides. And this leads me to the large and active alumni network of Osnabrück cognitive science students. With several thousand graduates over the last 25 years, the network actively supports its members, offering guidance and assistance throughout their careers. CogSci alumni are working in a diverse range of fields. And speaking of careers, a cognitive science degree unlocks a diverse range of opportunities. You'll find graduates in fields like human-computer interaction, designing user-friendly technology, and in research and development, pushing the boundaries of knowledge. Some work as consultants, applying cognitive principles to solve real-world problems for businesses. Others specialize in education, creating effective training programs. Or they use the analytical skills that they learned at the Institute in the rapidly growing field of AI and data science. We also have a strong representation in project management and leadership, the ability to understand how people think and interact, and of course the interdisciplinary background are hugely valuable in those roles. Essentially, a cognitive science degree equips you with a toolkit of transferable skills applicable to a huge variety of industries. So now that you know what cognitive science is and what skills you should bring, there's still the question of how to actually get into the study program. The formal requirements comprises the Abitur, or an equivalent for an university entrance qualification. There is no certain GPA required, but you need to have proof of good knowledge of German and English. Albeit nearly all of our classes are in English, knowing German is very important. Knowing German is very important to live an independent life in Germany. The bachelor program starts in fall and the application deadline is in the summer. You find the exact dates and more info on the pages provided here in the QR codes.
Okay, Osnabrück itself is perfectly located in the heart of Europe. It's right between some of the continent's most vibrant cities. For instance, within just a few hours, you can reach Amsterdam, Hamburg, Berlin, Cologne, Düsseldorf, and Frankfurt, all by direct train or car. And this central location makes Osnabrück a great starting point for exploring Europe, while still offering the charm and community of a smaller student-friendly city. So you can get kind of the best of both worlds. It's an easy access to international hubs, and at the same time, it's a welcoming home base for studying and living. Osnabrück is a true university town. It's lively, young, and full of opportunities for students, and everything is close by. So you can reach the university, cafes, parks by bike within minutes. Living costs are affordable, especially compared to larger cities, and the quality of life is high. The city has a vibrant cultural scene with festivals, concerts, student events throughout the year. And when you need a break from studying, the green surroundings of the 𝘱𝘬𝘵𝘧𝑡 forest or the 𝘗𝘪𝑉𝘂 National Reserve are right at your doorstep. So it's a place where you can focus on your studies, but also enjoy life, nature, and community. So what kind of students choose cognitive science? It's for those who want to understand the mind and shape the future. People who are curious about how humans, machines think, learn, and interact. And it's for those who are curious and motivated, ready to tackle challenging questions that connect psychology, neuroscience, AI, and philosophy. And it's for those who want to shape their own academic journey, exploring ideas across disciplines, working with researchers from around the world, and defining their own path. And if that sounds like you, we would love to for you to join our community here in Osnabrück. And you can learn more about the program by scanning a QR code on the screen. And hopefully we'll see you soon at the Institute of Cognitive Science.
Great. Thank you very much to both of you for the very interesting presentation. Thank you also, Dr. Klausing, for taking questions in Q&A in written. Now we have a lot of time for a live Q&A. Just before we start, I want to mention a few things. So all three programs have application via UniAssist, and I already saw at least 2 questions about UniAssist that are more specific about the dates, but generally, in case you want to know more about UniAssist, how to register, and all of that details, the link is already in chat. The second point is about the master's programs and the GPA. Again, I saw the question about GPA, and also Dr. Klausing mentioned that it's German system and the lower number means better results. And just in case you want to convert your GPA, I put the link for GPA calculator from TUM, and you can then easily see approximately what your GPA is in Germany. And of course, when you submit the application by UniAssist, then UniAssist will convert that for you. All right. So let me start with the question, which is about, can someone who already has a degree, maybe let's start with master's programs, do a second master? Will it be a problem, or does he or she have to provide additionally, or it's a regular application because previous bachelor will be taken into account?
So answering on behalf of Paderborn University, it's not a problem. So I would encourage you to include also your master degree and master transcript. So you do not have to hide this from us, but please include this as well. We of course need to check your bachelor transcripts for proficiency, but it can also be interested, for example, if the course selections that we require in some fields are maybe not precisely 100% covered by your bachelor, but you did a master and specialization in some areas. This might have an influence on the overall evaluation. So therefore, please also include your master transcript if you have such. And yes, right.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And speaking for Osnabrück University, this should not be a problem at all, already having an existing background. In fact, we welcome diversity in terms of its interdisciplinary background. So we often get people joining our program from different kind of disciplines. The same applies to the master's program, where we invite people from many different disciplines into the program.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Professor, let me stay with you. The question is about the content. How early in the program can I choose a focus area such as artificial intelligence or cognitive psychology?
So this is a program, this is a question I'm going to maybe forward to Laura as an expert.
Okay.
What I can briefly say is that I think the first semester at least, maybe the seconds, are really dedicated to building a common knowledge base across all of the students. This means you're going to go through a list of mandatory courses before you can actually specialize. I'll let Laura respond to that.
Yeah, but that's exactly right. So in the first semester, in the first 2 semesters, you cover all the basics. But to dive deeper into really specialize yourself in the domain, you will you're recommended to wait until the third semester when you have all your basics covered.
Mhm. Thank you so much. Now let's see answered questions for Paderborn, because maybe somebody also wants to have a recap. Yeah, there was one question about the 𝘈𝘕assist. So why I mentioned 𝘈𝘕assist is because somebody was asking if I apply before the application deadline a few months before, can I get my feedback earlier? And so Dr. Klausing mentioned this depends on 𝘈𝘕assist, how early they forward the application to them, so that then you can have a feedback. If you want to add anything or maybe elaborate on that, feel free to.
Yes. So first of all, it's quite important just to mention that the order of application is not relevant for any possible admission. So if you apply earlier, it does not mean that we have a limited number of seats or anything like that. So every application that is uploaded to 𝘈𝘕assist and completely uploaded to 𝘈𝘕assist before the deadline runs out will be treated the same, but you might receive, if the application is forwarded to us as a university earlier, you might receive an earlier response. Yes, this is possible.
Mm-hmm. Just a came question about tuition, and at least 3 people already asked, and I answered all of them. There are no tuition fees, but semester contributions. If you have the approximate numbers on the desk, could you please mention this both for Paderborn and Osnabrück?
Yes, for Osnabrück, I was already about to type in the answer. For Osnabrück, the tuition is about 394 euro currently per semester. This includes a bunch of fees for the administration, but it also includes a train ticket that allows you to basically take trains all around Germany for free. So those are the costs currently.
Yes. So
and cheaper Mensa prices.
exactly. So for Paderborn, it's similar. We are currently at 323 euros, and also include this all Germany public transport ticket for all buses, trains, and everything, and also cheaper Mensa and everything. It's basically the same. So we don't have a fixed tuition. It's just these fees that have to be paid each semester.
Mm-hmm. Professor Maslik, there was a question about if I'm not strong in technical subjects and I'm more interested in social aspect of cognitive science, ethics, society, is this program a good choice for me?
So we expect students to participate in mandatory courses that will require you to learn how to apply math, and also that will require you to learn programming. So if this is something that is not for you, then cognitive science may not for you. Even the students who then venture into philosophy of AI, for instance, or philosophy of the mind, they still need to have some kind of quantitative background, because they need to understand the corresponding literature, which is inherently quantitative in the domain of cognitive science. So even if you're interested in these social aspects, we expect at least that in the mandatory phase of the program, you participate in courses where you learn some basics of math and also programming.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Dr. Klausing, I think you already had conversation written with 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘵 about the GPA, and now the converted GPA is 2.5, so he can 𝘱𝘢𝘳 can apply. It's with the GPA, the framework is completed, right?
So yes, but there is just one thing with a converted GPA of 2.5, for example, you are not exempted from the GAE, so you still need to provide either a GAE or DMAT depending on your prior study program.
Mm-hmm. One more question for you is about sounds as following. Can someone join from the second semester, I guess, in person? And the next question are there online learning components or hybrid options in case I can't attend some sessions in person?
All right, starting with the second one. So it really depends on the individual lecturer, but usually, there are online components. So you have the slides of presentations oftentimes uploaded, but in general, at least for some practical sessions, it is better to join in person. So it cannot be guaranteed that a course can be studied entirely online. Sometimes it might be possible, but we highly encourage you to join in person. But if you're absent just for 1 or 2 classes or so, it is usually possible to study this on yourself. Or if you join, for example, late because, for example, visa or travel takes some additional time, this is usually no problem for a few sessions. But we encourage you to participate in person. And the first one we currently do not offer starting in higher semesters, but if you have something that you want to bring forward, then you can just do a regular application with us, get enrolled to the first semester, and then pay a visit to the advisory service and maybe just show that you have some courses. I guess the question was if you already started a master somewhere or want to start in a higher semester. Then, of course, contents might be transferred, but this highly depends on the individual case. So therefore, I would recommend reaching out via email to discuss this very specific case.
Thank you. This question was asked during the first presentation, but maybe from Osnabrück you have any feedback as well. Could be interesting.
I think it's pretty much the same what Leonard just said for us. So for the first question, I recommend the same procedure. For the second question, we do have a lot of the courses provided online, both in terms of lecture content being uploaded to the students. That's usually happening. But we also have a variety of lectures that are offered hybrid, which means that students can also follow them remotely. But this is not guaranteed for all of the lectures. So that means that we still encourage, attendance and presence overall in the course of study, especially in the bachelor program.
Thank you. I think the next question is again for Paderborn. What is the difference between joining in winter semester and summer semester?
Joining in both semesters is possible if you again have a look at our structure of the study program. Some mandatory courses, 3 of the 4 out of the 4 mandatory courses for computer engineering of the compulsory modules are taught in I think the winter semester. So it just changes a little bit how many compulsory modules we recommend you doing and how many electives depending on the semester. But basically, since there is no fixed order of courses, it doesn't matter in which semester if you join in winter or summer. Both is completely possible and yes, does not have any influence on the course of study.
Thank you. Technical questions for Osnabrück. The Abitur is the same like the classical high school diploma, right? And the second one is about GPA. Because I was Bachelor of Science, do I need GPA because I was doing networking and computer hardware? Yeah.
So let me try to interpret this question as in terms of, is there any GPA requirement? So first of all, a high school degree should in general qualify for a university entrance, as long as that also happens in the country where the high school diploma was obtained. That is at least to my knowledge. And in terms of GPA, we do not have a cutoff, meaning that we don't have to have a specific GPA score for you to be admitted into the program.
Professor, if I may, I will add on the first question about the Abitur and the high school. I just put the link for from 𝘗𝘪𝘵 and UniAssist, dear applicant or attendee, and there you can follow this link. This is from 𝘗𝘪𝘵, the first one, and you can check if your high school, sometimes A-levels, whatever it's called in your home country, qualifies you to have direct access to the bachelor's program in Germany. In case you have direct access, then you can just apply for this given study program. In case you do not have direct access, then you will have to do either Studienkolleg in Germany or 1 year of bachelor's in your home country in related field, so that then you don't, so kind of you make for this 13th year. And another way to check is via Anabin, but some find this page a bit complicated. However, yeah, feel free to start with 𝘗𝘪𝘵 or UniAssist checks, and then you can switch to Anabin if you want. Yes, so this question was answered. Okay, student housing. Let's start with Paderborn. Will the topic of student housing be touched upon during the Q&A session? So I'm just voicing. Dr. Klausing, are there any dormitories, or do you assist in this regard?
The university or the university offers some dormitory which you can apply for. It's the 𝘗𝘀𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝘨 Paderborn. So, but usually most applicants find their own accommodation. So it is just a very limited number, and sometimes it's also just for limited time frame. So you can regularly apply for some university dormitory, but the number is limited. So I recommend looking and planning around even beforehand for this.
Thank you.
And it's very similar in Osnabrück. So the Studentenwerk provides accommodations for students. There are dormitories for students. But in fact, most of the students at Osnabrück University find a flat on the free market, in part because Osnabrück is a very cheap city to live in. But this is why we also require some minimum level of German understanding, because navigating that market can be a little bit cumbersome if you have absolutely no experience with German.
Great, thank you. And the last two questions. So first is, I guess, for Osnabrück, because we also mentioned mathematics in one of the previous questions, the knowledge of mathematics and so on. And the question is, what is the expected level of mathematics and statistics from new students?
So Laura, again, has probably a much better background in terms of answering this question in detail. From what I can tell, basic linear algebra, vector matrix operations, dynamical systems would be some I mean, it's not a requirement, but it's something that you will get to learn. And also logic and probability theory. Those are all things that you will get exposed to during the study program, but maybe Laura has some additional things to add.
Yeah, those are the topics that are covered in the first 2 semesters, basically. But what you bring from high school should be enough to get you started at the university. There are pre-classes that are a week or 2 before the semester starts, that are intense math classes for a week, where we try to get the math people all on the same math page. So high school math level should be enough to start, and then it's practice, practice, practice.
Thank you. And the last open question that I see is about German. I guess for Paderborn there is no German requirement, or?
Exactly, yes. We do not require German proficiency. As I said, in some areas, if you do general studies, you can either participate in language courses at our university, starting really at the very basic level, A1, 1.1, 1.2. If you're interested in learning German, which we highly recommend, but you do not need to provide any proficiency when applying. It is not required.
And for Osnabrück, you need to have B1, but maybe let's rephrase the question in direction, do they need to provide the certificate by the application, or it can be provided later?
From what I heard, it's usually okay to provide it within the first semester. So okay. There is some grace period to provide all documents for the language proficiency.